In past presentations, we've talked about stress and our health, herbs for stressful times, and today we will talk about stress and relationships. So with me today are my friends and neighbors, Deb and Kim.
Hello.
And I'm sure they never have had any stress.
No.
They've never been yelled at or yelled to somebody in because they've been stressed about something, they've had a hard day at work. Many of us, and it's the loved ones, the ones we care the most about, that we seem to attack the most. And so today I want to talk, I'm sure we can all tell our horror stories about what has happened and times of stress, and when there's been disagreements and things have escalated and gotten ugly and non-loving, and blame and things like that. Today I want to talk about some solutions that may help. Creating little pockets, putting work in a pocket, putting home in a pocket. And so it works for some people. Some people can't compartmentalize. Other people find other ways of dealing with it. Breathing certainly is one way to deal with things, that we can take deep breaths and then just put us in some other place that we can be calmer. And
That helps me.
yeah, taking a deep breath before we say something, because sometimes, just like it's a reaction type thing, and we don't want to react, we want to be proactive. So there's a lot of things that compound, so it isn't just about, like we think about stress at work and deadlines and things like that, but when we're in pain, our ability to handle stress is a lot less. When somebody is sick in the family and you're worried about them, they have a chronic illness, or there are people that you love that are going through some times, and you feel frustrated, you can't help them. So there are lots of things that add to our ability to handle stress. And I personally think that we should all wear sticky notes, on our foreheads, and saying, this is not a good time.
Yeah.
I'm feeling really, really bad. So my name is Mary Bourne. Usually I say that right off. I'm a naturopath, traditional naturopath, and I love helping people with remedies, natural supports to get the body back into balance. That is the goal. We don't, medications often numb our feelings, and I've had clients tell me that they want to get off their medications because they just numb it. They feel like they're watching a play and life is going on, and they're not involved as an actor in this play. And so what you really want to do is learn some techniques that can help you better handle stress. And some of the things that we're going to talk about today are things that you can do on a daily basis, and that you can be prepared. Because most of the time you can't prepare for stress, and it happens. And so what you want to do is give your body the best scenario to handle the stress. Absolutely, having a positive attitude is one of the most important things. They say people who have positive attitudes live longer, they are healthier, and scientifically proven that those people who are grumpy and negative do not live as long, and they experience more pain. They have more chronic disease. So, right then and there, it makes you want to try to be a positive person, and try to look at whatever aspect that you're dealt with in a positive way. I feel like I've said this before too, is that life is a boomerang, and what you give out comes back. And if you're angry, guess what? You're going to get more anger in your life. It just seems to escalate and get worse. So if, understanding how the body works is what these videos are all about, and how you can help the body to regain balance. So the thing that deals with stress is your sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. Now, the sympathetic revs things up. It gets you ready to fight and flight, and is really a good thing, because otherwise you wouldn't be handling stress very well. And it doesn't give you the ability to make good decisions, or to quickly handle a stressful situation. Sometimes you have to have all your awareness just to be proactive and do something that needs to do. Now, the parasympathetic comes in and it calms things down afterwards. Now, we live in a life where we're always seeing bears behind every tree. And so it's very difficult for the parasympathetic system to actually keep calm and to balance things out. The sympathetic nervous system revs up the blood pressure, and so people who are dealing with high blood pressure, it's because they're constantly stressed. They don't have the tools to bring that down. Now, there's also a third system called your enteric system, and that involves the gut. And so we know now, I've known it for 15 years, that there's a gut-brain connection, but all of a sudden it's now a big news because the doctors now know about it. But one of the things your nervous system needs that it cannot manufacture are B vitamins. And my favorite, I've discussed it before in this realm of thinking about the stress factors, and that is Nutri Calm. Nutri Calm is one of my favorite supplements. It has B vitamins in it. It has C. It has a bunch of calming herbs that keep the nervous system calm down. Let's think this through, get things active. So the sympathetic nervous system is reactive. We can push through, we can do things. It makes us overcome a lot of things. And the parasympathetic system says, now calm down, you need to think about this, you need to calm, but sometimes that isn't available. So I feel that when you take B vitamins every day, that you are helping the parasympathetic nervous system to be present when it's necessary, when you need to be able to think things through. So Nutri Calm is generally taken morning, noon, and at the evening meal, because you have stress throughout the day. You have morning stress, where maybe you got to get the kids off to school, you've got a bunch of things, you've got things to prepare for, and then at noontime you've had all the stress in the morning and you need some parasympathetic support at lunchtime, and then at dinner time to deal with all the things that go on in your dinner or evening schedule.
Does Nutri Calm, is that the thing that would help you to avoid saying, I wish I would have said that?
Well, that's certainly one of the things, but having regrets is it's a stressful thing. Mm-hmm. You have to be able to say to yourself, it was what it was. Mm-hmm. And that's it, to be able to let things go. Forgiveness, those are all things that are really important in allowing things to move through. Because if you hang on to things, you become rigid. You become unable to handle the next thing coming, because you're so dealing with the thing that's happening right now. If we don't heal fast enough, we are at risk for infections like cold or flu or and stomach distress, because one of the things that the parasympathetic system does is allow for digestive secretions. And if you're not digesting, then you can't get the nutrients your body needs to repair. So it takes much longer to heal. It takes longer to get over anything. So, but that's definitely a good question. So, B vitamins are water soluble, which means they're washed out. So we're encouraged to drink lots of water, and so we wash them out. They come out in our urine. And I say to people, if your urine isn't bright yellow, you're not taking enough B vitamins, because, this thing about the clear urine thing, that's totally wrong. If you're taking the right amount of B vitamins are like a banquet. You want to have all of them present. You don't want to just take B12 or B6, even though they have really good things. But if you're taking one, you may be robbing the body of B3, which is niacin, which is really important for cardiac health. So taking a banquet of B vitamins is really important, and I love it that it has some herbs in it. But some people, it's a rather large tablet. Some people can't take it, and if you crush it up, it really tastes nasty. I mean, it smells nasty, but it really works. It does a great job. But for those people who can't handle tablets, then we have the B vitamin complex. Now this is a capsule. You can give it to children. You can open it up, you can put it in applesauce, a little bit of cinnamon to flavor it, and then that really can help them deal with things. We think children don't have stress, but I want to talk to you a little bit later about children and stress. So this has all of your wonderful B vitamins and can support the nervous system very well as well. It just doesn't have the herbs in it that that I like so well. So recently I put on my Facebook page an investigation that disclosed the top 5 protein drinks as having pesticide contaminants. Now these are the top 5 sellers on Amazon. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't want to take pesticides in. It's just not. And then we're talking about glyphosate. This is one of the worst. Roundup has it, and it's one of the most cancer-causing. It used to be Monsanto, but Bayer bought them out, and the lawsuits are escalating in the millions against these people. And so just say no to the glyphosate kind of things. But obviously, if you don't know it's in there, it's definitely not going to be labeled on it. So you got to trust the company that you get your supplements from. And that's why I really promote Nature's Sunshine, because I put on as a comment the video that shows all the testing that is done to all the products that Nature's Sunshine does. Now, they don't just test sporadically like some companies do. Every single lot is tested, and it doesn't get put into bottles until the testing's complete. Then they will save some of those bottles, and they'll come back and they do annually testing on these products so that things that are on your shelf can maintain that good quality, and then they know that this testing lot is good. So it's just an incredible company that offers contaminant-free supplements that I think everybody should know about. So the FDA has come in and tried to catch them at different things. They come in unannounced in this caravan of limousines and go through the manufacturing plant, and normally it'll take 4 to 5 days. They have left after 2 or 3 days because there's nothing to report. There's no problem. So, it's really hard to have that kind of quality that the company has. Now, I've talked with you about Distress Remedy before. I think it's absolutely marvelous drops that you can take when you're stressed. It has beautiful flower essences in it. Next month, I'm going to be doing some garden things. I think that is going to be really fun. Now, I don't use my garden medicinally, like if I have a problem, I'm going to take this necessarily. I prefer to have something that knows dosage and quality and has been time tested, But I will show you things like comfrey and lavender and things that you can do with it, making tea and doing some culinary tips and maybe making sprays and things like that. So next month I'm going to be doing things from the garden. So that'll be a lot of fun. But let me just read to you about Distress Remedy on the arnica. It's a flower essence when a person is suffering from physical or emotional trauma, shock, injury, illness, or surgery. They may have been in an accident or been the victim of violence and feel numb, disconnected, or removed from their body, even if their physical injuries have since healed. Arnica flower essence promotes healing and rapid recovery from shock or traumatic events. Now, who doesn't need this in their house? It's like I took some before we started the video today because I was having trouble getting Facebook Live on, so I'm actually recording this and then going to put it on Facebook from a recording. And so it's... Yeah. Everybody has trauma. Everybody has situations that pop up that are not in their control. So I love the ability to have these on hand whenever I need them. So now medication's not going to do that for you. If you take an anti-anxiety medication, it's good for something, but there's no anti-anxiety medication that's good for every anxiety. Look at the things that just arnica does in this distress remedy. So, and then there's the addiction problem. Oh my goodness, it's scary because you can get addicted to opioids after 3 or 4 days. If you're taking pain medication that has an opioid in it, it's a very scary thing. So the thing you want to do is be more proactive and perhaps go to a consultant, see a specialist, see if they have. My goodness, YouTube is full of wonderful. I've talked to you about Brene Brown. I've talked about Tony Robbins has some great relationship tips and things where you can share and watch it together so you're both on the same page and be able to discuss. Having tough discussions is not an easy thing. I love the fact Brene Brown says, the story that's going on in my head, it's not you said this or, whatever. It's the story that's going on in my head. Because a lot of things that Dr. Daniel Amen says that 95% of the thoughts we think are not true. Now, how can you base decisions on something that's totally not true? So one of the stories that I absolutely love is Inside Out. Now, these are the characters from some of them from Inside Out. And, there's joy, which we all want, We all want to be with joy, don't we? And then there's anger, is there anybody that doesn't, and sadness, she mopes around. It's just the greatest movie. You just got to see it. So, anyways, handing this to a child and said, what's going on? What do you feel? They can actually look at it and say, I feel like this person, or I feel like this person, so that you can help discuss with them what's going on and maybe come to some solutions. Now, the thing you don't want to do is to say, oh, don't worry about that. How silly can that be? You think on your word that's going to erase that fear? No. There's still going to be monsters in the closet. And if you don't deal with, I'm here for you. What can I do to make you feel better? Those are the words that can help a child. Not, don't worry about that. Or don't quit your crying. We've all been told it. Quit your crying. Well, what kind of help is that? So I encourage you to rent that video, or if you got Netflix, I think it's on Netflix. There's a lot of great ways you can communicate with children about how they're feeling, and you know what? Maybe have it posted on the refrigerator and says, "Mommy feels like," so it's not a good time. You know?
Hey, that works.
Speaking of children, Nerve 8 is just the wonderful complex. Now, there's children, parents are going through divorce. They need to be able to feel secure. They need to be able to handle, I mean, they got stuff going on at school. Maybe they're being bullied. Children have stress too. We think we're the only ones that deal with stress. No, children have stress too. And Nerve 8 is one of the great things. You can take a little bit, put it in some applesauce, and let them have their nervous system dealt with. There's anti-inflammatories in here. Children gets hurt. I don't know about you, but people get broken legs. They get, children are very active with the soccer and sports that create injuries. And so you want to be able to give them some distress remedy. In next month, I'm going to talk about a cream that I make up that helps with healing faster. I used to call it my boo-boo spray. And so, there's things that you can do to help, because not only is this physical, there's emotion right attached to it. And if you can support the body with good nutrients, we can't always have the perfect diet. I mean, what soccer team doesn't go and have Dairy Queen after, And so you can't always be in control of having the best diet. So it's important to be able to do what you can to help support. Don't think of supplements as pills. Think of them as concentrated food. They have in them the tools that can help your body heal faster. And, it's not like medication. It's food, especially if you're talking about herbs. So one of the things that I love and grow is lavender. And we have the lavender essential oil. And I know Kim uses it, don't you, with your animals?
Yes.
And I've had some people be concerned about, cats and smells and that, but I know that you had both cat and dog and use the lavender a lot to help keep them calm. Distress remedy is something that people will put in a dog's bowl of water, and they can take it. Animals are very intuitive. If they know that something's helping them, they'll go for it. They'll take more of it. But they reject medication. And it's really funny, I think, because they do reject medication because, and some aspect of it, they know that there's side effects to it. I just find that very funny. Last time I spoke about valerian root. Now, this is not an essential oil. This is the stinkiest of herbs. It's like somebody's athletic supporter. It's a wonderful sedative. It is antispasmodic, and I'm thanking God every day that Nature's Sunshine has it in capsule form, not liquid. I mean, they also have it in liquid, but I'd rather take it in capsule form. So it is great for when you're feeling like agitated or if you're having cramping. It opens up the bronchioles. If you're having distress in the bronchial area, it reduces spasmodic coughing. So having some valerian root on hand. Now that Nerve 8 has some valerian in it, and so that's really wonderful too. So Nerve 8 is also great for painful joints, which this time of the year with all, I know we spent the entire weekend power washing the deck and planting, and so It's very, very good. By the way, if you're enjoying what you're hearing, I hope that you send me some hearts or emojis, or click on the comments and tell me how it's been helpful for you. I think of these little videos as coaching sessions, and we all need support every once in a while, and that's why I'm doing it on a weekly basis. Now, last week I had to go to a friend's funeral, and so I couldn't do it, but I try to have them every week anyways. And they're recorded, so you can come back to them, share them with other people. Maybe there's a tip on here that a friend of yours could use. Just pass it along. We need more positive information. We get inundated with the negative stuff. So, having positive influences every once in a while help keep us up and able to handle stress a little better. So be sure to join me, Dr. Mary's Health to Home, on Tuesdays at 10:30 a.m. And if you have a specific thing that you need information about, think of me as a resource person. I love to investigate things. So send me an email, Dr. Mary at bornforhealth.com. That's my website. And if you go to bornforhealth.com and you look up Urban Cyclopedia, that's where you can find the papers that talked about all the things. Alphabetically, it's listed for every supplement. So if you look under B, you can find B vitamins. If you look under N, you can find Nutri Calm. You can search out for yourself all the different supplements that maybe there's something there that you would like to have. And then if you wanted to, you can just click on the link and purchase it right there. So I like to end the videos with some action steps. And so, first of all, do those hard conversations. Make sure that you're not attacking the person, that you're looking at what was going on rather than blaming the person who may have been there during the time, or maybe they instigated it. But you're not going to get anywhere if you start attacking someone. Attack the deed. Always look at the deed. So, and check out the Inside Out. I think you should stop it and discuss, and then, even adults, it's just a great way to understand how emotions are stored and how they can be triggered, and that it isn't maybe necessarily the thing that's going on now. It's something that happened to you a long time ago, and you're still not processing it. Things get stuck in us. So, and take some supplements every day to help your nervous system handle the problems. Take a flower essence, have it on hand. Do some essential oils. Keep focusing on gratitude and be thankful for people and gifts of nature, the flowers and all the joy around you.
Beautiful.
Thank you for viewing, and please share what you have learned with others. Until next week, this is Dr. Mary at Health to Home for the health of it. Thank you.